Hello, dear viewers and friends. Welcome back to our channel, where we share stories, valuable lessons, and together seek healing and peace on the often turbulent and challenging paths of life. Have you ever wondered what life will feel like, what it will be like, if you end up facing old age alone? It's a prospect that many of us try not to think about, or perhaps it only crosses our minds fleetingly until it actually happens. When loved ones move far away, when dear friends gradually depart from this life, when phone calls become less frequent and the house grows quieter than ever before, the reality of aging alone can become one of the most difficult and emotionally challenging experiences. The specter of loneliness, the feeling of being left behind, the fear of dependency, or simply the emptiness of long days without anyone to share them with can cast a somber shadow over the years that should ideally be a time of peace and reflection. But there's a crucial truth I want to emphasize right from the start. Aging alone does not necessarily mean living in misery or unhappiness. Absolutely not. In fact, with the right mindset, a positive attitude, and most importantly, by cultivating purposeful daily habits, you can absolutely create a fulfilling, meaningful, and joyful life, even when you're walking this path on your own. The difference between devastating loneliness and peaceful solitude often lies in the small choices, the conscious actions you take each and every day. In today's in-depth conversation, we will explore 6 essential things, 6 solid pillars that you must do every day if you find yourself entering the phase of aging alone. These are not merely ways to fill empty time. These are vital strategies, core habits that help you maintain mental clarity, physical vitality, emotional resilience, and most importantly, the ability to truly enjoy each day of your life. They are tools that help you transform potential solitude into a space of freedom to explore yourself, nurture your soul, and find joy in your own unique way. If you want to steer clear of misery, late regrets, and the emotional isolation that can creep into life when aging alone, please journey with me to the end. The 6 things we are about to discuss might just completely change the way you perceive and approach the aging process, helping you proactively build a life that is rich, rewarding, and entirely your own, a life you are proud of and love. Now, let's begin exploring the secrets to living fully when old age arrives unaccompanied. The first, and perhaps most crucial foundation for combating feelings of aimlessness and stagnation when living alone, is establishing a structured daily routine. Waking up each morning without a clear plan for the day can leave you feeling lost, unmotivated, and disconnected from the rhythm of life. As you get older, especially when the constraints of work or family responsibilities lessen, having a reasonably organized daily schedule is one of the most powerful ways to maintain a sense of purpose and direction. A routine doesn't mean you have to fill your day with meaningless tasks or put undue pressure on yourself. Not at all. Its purpose is to create a framework, a rhythm that brings stability and meaning. It's about you proactively deciding how you will use your time, rather than letting time simply drift away aimlessly. It gives you a reason to get out of bed in the morning, a sense of grounding amidst life's potential fluctuations, and a natural flow that helps life keep moving forward. One of the biggest mistakes people make when aging alone is letting time slip away wastefully. Without the pressures of a job, childcare duties, or dense social obligations, days can easily blend into one another, creating fertile ground for boredom, feelings of uselessness, and isolation to take root. But when you create a daily structure for yourself, even with simple activities, you are reclaiming control over your time, rather than letting time control you. Your routine doesn't need to be rigid or complicated to the point of stress. It simply needs to include activities that make you feel good, keep your mind engaged, and maintain a sense of balance in your life. A strong morning routine is particularly important as it sets the tone and energy for the rest of the day. Try waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends if possible. Making your bed, a small act, but give a sense of accomplishment first thing. Preparing and enjoying a nutritious breakfast, don't skip meals. And if possible, spending a few minutes breathing fresh air outdoors or simply opening a window to let in natural light. These small actions can have a magical impact on your mental and physical well-being. Consider the story of Robert, a 76-year-old retired engineer. After his wife passed away, he found himself adrift in an empty void. He woke up at odd hours, often skipped meals or ate poorly, and spent too much time sitting alone in front of the television. He felt the days slipping away meaninglessly, and the loneliness became overwhelming. But after deciding he needed a change, he started creating a daily schedule for himself. He began waking up earlier, taking a short walk in the morning, cooking simple but balanced meals, and scheduling phone calls with family members in the afternoon. Just these small changes made his life significantly more structured. His mind felt clearer, and he no longer felt like he was just passively waiting for time to pass. The routine brought back a sense of control and meaning. A routine helps keep you grounded, especially when life feels uncertain or loneliness knocks at the door. It eliminates the feeling of emptiness by ensuring that every day has a flow, a purpose, however small, and a sense of movement. Even the simplest habits, like watering plants at a set time, listening to favorite music in the evening, reading a few pages of a book before bed, or writing a few lines in a journal about the day's events, can bring a deep sense of comfort and normalcy. They are anchors grounding you in reality, helping you feel more stable and organized. If you've ever felt like the days are slipping away uselessly or that life lacks structure, start small. Try writing down a simple plan for the next morning. Plan your meals for the day. Set aside a specific time for a hobby, even if it's just 30 minutes of reading, gardening, or listening to music. The key is to make conscious decisions about how you spend your precious time, rather than letting life passively carry you along. A well-planned routine doesn't just fill your day, it gives your life a sense of order, meaning, and forward momentum. The second essential element, closely linked to maintaining both physical and mental health, is prioritizing physical movement every day. One of the biggest and most common mistakes people make as they age is moving too little, accepting slowness as an inevitability. While our bodies naturally undergo changes over time, staying physically active is the closest thing to a fountain of youth we can find. It's not just about staying fit or looking healthy on the outside. It's a key factor in keeping your body strong, your mind sharp, and your independence intact for as long as possible. When you stop moving, a negative cycle begins. You gradually lose muscle mass, age-related sarcopenia, joint flexibility decreases, energy levels decline, and this leads to a general deterioration in overall health. A weaker body makes movement even harder, and so you move even less. But the good news is, you don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to stay active. Simple, consistent movement every day is the key that makes a world of difference. A short walk around the block, a few gentle stretches in the morning, or even just consciously standing up and moving around frequently throughout the day instead of sitting for prolonged periods can boost blood circulation, strengthen muscles at a basic level, and keep your joints more flexible. The goal is to keep your body engaged in activity so that everyday tasks like getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, carrying grocery bags, or playing with grandchildren remain easy and effortless. Listen to the story of Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian. After retiring, she became less active, spending more time sitting and reading or watching TV than on her feet. Initially, she didn't notice any changes. But over the years, simple tasks like bending down to pick something up or walking for extended periods started feeling more difficult. She thought, I guess I'm just getting old. But after joining a local walking group with friends and starting light stretching every morning, she felt a difference almost immediately. Her energy improved significantly, her posture became better, and she even started sleeping more soundly at night. Movement brought new vitality back in her life. Physical movement should be considered a daily necessity, just like eating or sleeping, not an occasional optional activity. Even if you have mobility limitations due to health issues, there are always ways to stay active appropriately. Chair exercises, water aerobics, tai chi, gentle yoga, or even just repeatedly standing up and sitting down while watching TV can help keep your muscles strong and your blood flowing. The crucial thing is to find forms of movement that suit you and make them an indispensable part of your daily schedule. Another incredibly important benefit of regular exercise is its ability to protect the brain. Studies have convincingly shown that physical activity can help reduce the risk of cognitive decline and diseases like Alzheimer's. When you move, you're not just strengthening your muscles. You're improving blood circulation to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to nerve cells. Exercise also helps reduce stress, improve mood through the release of endorphins, and keeps your mind engaged with your body and the surrounding environment. If you've been inactive for a long time, don't be discouraged or try to do too much too soon. Start small. A 5-minute walk around your home or yard. A few gentle stretches in the morning. A bit of light housework that keeps you on your feet. The key is consistency. The more you move within your safe limits, the easier it becomes. And soon, you'll feel stronger, more flexible, and more energized every single day. Remember, your body was designed to move. Honor that design. The third essential and an effective antidote to loneliness is maintaining social engagement. One of the toughest parts of aging alone is the gradual loss of social connections. Friends might move away or pass on. Family members might get busy with their own lives. And spending more time alone becomes easier than ever. But isolation is one of the biggest threats to both mental and physical health. As we've discussed, studies show loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity, increasing the risk of heart disease, depression, and even cognitive decline. The good news is you don't have to accept loneliness as an inevitable part of aging. Staying socially engaged is an active choice, and it's one of the most important daily habits you can cultivate. Even small social interactions can make a huge difference in your emotional well-being. A short phone call with a loved one, a chat with a neighbor over the fence, a friendly exchange with the cashier at the grocery store. Human connection is a fundamental need, and maintaining relationships should be prioritized just as much as eating well or staying active. Recall the story of Frank, an 80-year-old widower. After his wife passed, he found himself sinking deeper into loneliness, watching TV and hopelessly waiting for the phone to ring. He rationalized that his kids were busy, his friends had their own lives, and he didn't want to be a burden. But as the months passed, he felt increasingly disconnected, and even the smallest tasks felt overwhelming. That all changed when he decided to proactively reach out. He started calling an old friend once a week, joined a local senior group, and even signed up for an online chess club. Within a few months, he felt more alive, more engaged, and more connected than he had in years. Social engagement doesn't have to mean big events or large gatherings. It's about small but meaningful connections, interactions that remind you that you're part of something bigger. Whether it's sending a text message to check in, inviting a friend for coffee, joining a group that shares your interests, book club, gardening club, craft group, or simply striking up a conversation with someone you meet at the park, the key is to make socializing a daily or weekly habit. Even if you don't have close friends or family nearby, technology today makes staying connected easier than ever. Video calls allow you to see the faces and smiles of loved ones. Online forums and social media groups allow you to connect with people who share your interests or circumstances, regardless of their location. Many seniors have found a wonderful sense of belonging and support in online communities, even if they aren't physically surrounded by people. The world is more connected than ever. You just have to be willing to take the first step to explore it. The truth is, loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected. And the best way to fight that feeling is to make an effort to engage with the world every single day. The more you reach out, the easier it becomes. And before you know it, you'll find yourself with a network of people who bring joy, conversation, and purpose into your life. Don't let the fear of rejection or the feeling of being a bother prevent you from seeking the connection you deserve. The fourth essential, running parallel to physical and social health, is keeping your mind stimulated. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they age is letting their minds slow down along with their bodies. Many assume cognitive decline is just a natural, unavoidable part of getting older. But in reality, your brain thrives on stimulation, much like your muscles need movement to stay strong. When unchallenged and not actively engaged, the brain can lose its sharpness. The good news is you absolutely have the power to keep your mind strong, alert, and full of curiosity, no matter your age. Keeping your brain active doesn't mean you have to tackle complex puzzles or learn overwhelming new subjects. It's simply about engaging in activities that challenge your thinking, introduce new ideas, and keep your curiosity alive. Reading, novels, nonfiction, newspapers, learning a new skill, a language, playing an instrument, using a computer, cooking, playing strategy games, chess, Sudoku, bridge, writing, journaling, memoirs, poetry, or even just engaging in deep, meaningful conversations. All are excellent ways to keep your mind sharp and your memory strong. Consider the case of Janet, a 74-year-old former teacher. After retiring, she found herself watching TV all day and feeling like her mind wasn't as sharp as it used to be. She noticed she was forgetting small things, where she left her keys, what she planned to buy at the store. Worried about losing her mental acuity, she made a simple change. She started reading again, doing crossword puzzles in the morning, and taking an online Spanish class. Within weeks, she felt a difference. Her focus improved, she felt more engaged, and she even had new things to talk about when she socialized. Her brain felt refreshed and revitalized. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One of the best ways to keep it active is to challenge yourself with something new. Learning an instrument, trying a new hobby you never thought you would, or even just varying your daily walking route can force your brain to create new neural connections, keeping it flexible and resilient. Novelty is nourishment for the brain, and stimulating your brain doesn't just help maintain mental sharpness. It also helps prevent feelings of boredom and depression. When you're learning, creating, or problem solving, you feel a sense of purpose and accomplishment. That sense of progress, no matter how small, gives you a reason to look forward to each day. It nurtures self-esteem and the feeling that you are still growing, still living a valuable life. Never underestimate the power of learning and exploration in maintaining mental well-being. The fifth essential, a powerful inner tool for maintaining peace and happiness, is practicing gratitude and reflection daily. As we age, especially when living alone, it's easy to focus on what we've lost: loved ones, past opportunities, youth, declining health. But shifting your focus to what you still have can completely transform your mindset and emotional state. Gratitude isn't about ignoring life's challenges. No one expects you to be falsely cheerful when facing difficulties. Gratitude is about choosing to recognize the good that still exists, even amidst the toughest times. It's the ability to see the glimmers of light in the darkness, to appreciate the small things often overlooked. The simple act of reflecting on what you're grateful for each day can boost your mood, reduce stress, improve sleep, and even enhance your physical health. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience lower levels of depression and anxiety, sleep better, and feel a greater sense of life purpose. And the best part? It's completely free, easy to do, and only takes a few minutes a day. Listen to the story of George, a 79-year-old retired firefighter. After losing his wife, he found himself dwelling in loneliness, replaying past memories, and feeling like life had lost its meaning. But everything changed when he started keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning, he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for. Sometimes big things, like his grandchildren's laughter. Sometimes small things, like a warm cup of coffee, the morning sun streaming through the window, or a beautiful song on the radio. Over time, his perspective shifted. He still missed his wife. The pain didn't vanish entirely. But instead of focusing on what was lost, he began cherishing what he still had: relatively good health, the love of his family, remaining friends, the simple joys of daily life. Reflection is just as important as gratitude. Taking time each day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and process your thoughts and feelings can help you feel more centered and at peace. In this noisy, fast-paced world, moments of stillness are invaluable. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, mindfulness practices, or simply sitting by a window observing nature, listening to birdsong. Daily reflection allows you to clear your mind, reduce accumulated stress, and focus on what truly matters in life. It helps you reconnect with yourself, with your core values. If you've never practiced gratitude before, start small. Each morning upon waking or each evening before sleep, take a moment to think about 3 things that made you smile that day. Maybe it was a delicious meal, an interesting conversation, help from someone, or simply feeling healthy. The more you train your mind to focus on the good, the easier it becomes to find joy in everyday life. Life will always present challenges, but your happiness doesn't depend entirely on what happens to you. It depends significantly on how you choose to respond and perceive. Make gratitude and reflection a daily habit, and you'll find that even in solitude, you are never truly alone with gratitude in your heart. And finally, the 6th essential, a delightful paradox yet incredibly powerful, is finding ways to help others. One of the fastest ways to combat loneliness and bring meaning into your own life is to turn your focus outward, to help someone else. This might sound a bit counterintuitive. After all, when you're feeling down or isolated, your first instinct might be to focus on yourself, on your own pain. But the truth is, giving to others can be one of the most rewarding ways to find purpose and joy in your own life. Helping others doesn't have to mean grand, life-altering gestures. It can be very simple things. Checking in on a neighbor who lives alone, volunteering at the local library or hospital, mentoring a younger person with your skills, donating to a cause you believe in, or even just offering a kind word or a warm smile to a stranger you pass on the street. The key is to make giving a daily or weekly habit, a way to connect with the world and remind yourself that you still possess value, wisdom, and kindness to offer. Consider the case of Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse. After retiring, she felt she had lost her sense of purpose. Her children were grown, her social circle had shrunk, and she often spent days without much interaction. But instead of letting loneliness consume her, she decided to start volunteering at a local food bank. Initially, it was just a few hours a week. But before long, she found herself looking forward to those days. She made new friends, felt needed, and most importantly, found a new sense of fulfillment. Helping those less fortunate brought new meaning to her life. The simple act of giving creates connection. It shifts the focus away from your own struggles and towards making a difference, no matter how small. Whether it's offering advice based on your rich life experience, listening with empathy, or simply sharing a smile, helping others reminds you that you still matter, that you can still make a positive impact. Even if you're physically limited, there are still ways to give. Writing letters to old friends who might also be feeling lonely. Mentoring younger generations online through connector programs. Knitting hats for newborns at the hospital. Or simply being a source of encouragement, a positive listener for those around you. The act of giving fills your life with a sense of purpose, keeping your spirit alive and your heart full. It is a potent antidote to loneliness and feelings of uselessness. As we conclude our conversation today, take a moment to reflect on these 6 daily habits: establishing a routine, prioritizing movement, staying socially engaged, stimulating your mind, practicing gratitude and reflection, and finding ways to help others. Aging alone does not mean living in loneliness or despair. It's the small, intentional choices you make every single day that determine whether you feel isolated or fulfilled. The reality is, we cannot always control our circumstances. Health can change, loved ones may leave, but we can always control how we respond to those circumstances. Life will always change, and people will come and go, but your ability to create joy, purpose, and connection remains entirely in your hands. If you commit to these habits, even starting with just 1 or 2, you will find that being alone does not have to mean being lonely. You still have so much to offer, so much to enjoy, and so many reasons to embrace each day with hope and gratitude. If today's video resonated with you, ask yourself, which of these 6 things can I start doing today? You don't have to change everything all at once. Even the smallest step in the right direction can create a ripple effect that changes your entire outlook on life and on yourself during this stage. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.